white lies and desperation, hard times and conversations. No one should ever love me like you do. Sometimes my bad decisions define my false suspicions. No one should ever love me like you do. While I'm on this road, you take my hand. Somehow you really love who I really am. I push you away, still you won't let go. You grow your roses on my barren soul. Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Last night, confidence was shaking. My wounds and my past was saying, no one should ever love me like you do. While I'm on this road, you take my hand. Somehow you really love who I really am. I push you away, still you won't let go. You grow your roses on my barren soul. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? The way I put you through it, what you had to see. I'm a train wreck, I'm a mess. You see the best and the worst in me. Still I can't imagine that I've earned your trust. I don't understand where your love comes from. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? To be loved by you.
Hondo 25 in the books. All right, if you're new to the Vine, we take a day, one day a year, and we celebrate the work that we're doing in missions. And so that's this day. I don't want you to check out just quite yet. I promise you there'll be something in this for everyone. But I do want to invite some people up to share a little bit about what's taking place in our global mission outreach here at the Vine. And so I always just randomly call up some people that went on the trip. I don't tell them who I'm calling, and I don't know until this very moment. And so just gonna call some people up, and we'll have it fun. All right, I'll take Xavier. That would be, because he's a first timer. That's good. I'll take David too. I'll take David. Come on, Xavier and David, two first timers. That's good. And we're gonna need a lady to join us. We're gonna need one of the gals. Huh? Oh, Brooke's in the back? Come on, Brooke, let's go. All right, you're good. What are you hiding? They ain't gonna let you do that. You're good. Take this mic, turn it on. Everybody know how to turn the mics on? Turn the mics on. All right. So each one of these people, believe it or not, is a newbie. So first timers, first time all around. Exciting? Why do you guys look asleep still? All right. So in the video, this looks like a lot of work. Is that just, is that cinematography or is that just special effects? Or is that an actual thing? Give us your description of what the work is like. What do you think? Go ahead. You can start. Okay, let's start with, okay, go ahead. I was going to take some shots, but I'm not going to do it. I'm I'm playing nice.
I'm going to say video times 10.
Okay. So
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
It is.
So, like, when we get to the site, this particular site's about, I think it's a couple acres, 3 or 4 acres. It's got one home that we built, and this is ultimately going to be a children's home. It's an orphanage setting. We're talking about a 6,000 square foot building, roughly, just a little bit under 6,000 square foot. And so when we get to the site, what's it like? Like, you driving on the site, what was your first feeling, like, when you get to the site?
I saw how it looked before. Miranda had shown me a video. It was just like plain grass and weeds, and you guys cut it down with machetes, and it's crazy. There's a building there now.
And then it happens quick, right? Like, we get to the site, and there's not a lot of, like, it's not like we all stand around, like, it's not like we're all just, like, hanging out. It's pretty quick. Like, we're quickly like, okay, we gotta go. We're on a timer. There's this sense of, like, urgency every day while you're there. And so they're building, like, as soon as we get there, they're building this ramp to get we're like, oh, we gotta bring in a bunch of dirt because we gotta get a bunch of dirt up here to fill this in before we can put the concrete down. And so it is a lot of, like, actual work. That plus the heat, how did you feel?
That was a game changer.
Talking to the mic.
The heat was a game changer. for
Yeah?
sure.
How long did it take, you think, till you sweated through everything?
How long?
Yeah.
When we drove up there.
Yeah.
In the van.
You got out of the van and just immediate drenched? Just immediate, this is crazy. Yeah, were you surprised at the level of work that it was? Were you surprised at how much, I was surprised how much you did.
I don't think I was surprised at like the level of work, but I think like there's so much that goes into it. Like I think I was surprised by how much work there was for everybody. Like I think there was something everybody could have done, so like there was enough for everybody. There was like so much of us, but there was still enough work for like.
It's almost too much.
There was too much. There's so much for everybody to do.
Yeah, there's a bunch of video in here, and you got to see some of it in the recap video where, remember that there's 43 people that we're traveling with, plus we have some day laborers there on site that are kind of like our on-site construction guys. And there's moments where almost every single person is in the home, inside, working. And like in this very small space, there's probably, what would you say, 6 wheelbarrows, there's 25 shovels going, there's another 15 rakes, there's buckets, there's 2 concrete machines, and it's all happening in one building at the same time. It looks like a stream home makeover at one point, and everybody's like moving like ants around this. It's like an Amazon factory in there when it gets going. Were you surprised at that? Yeah? What job did you do the most? You're the wheelbarrow guy?
I think I did probably.
Did you have much experience with a wheelbarrow before? No?
But it's just like you're just pushing. I picked that because I'm inside and outside, and it's hot, so I'm sweating the whole time. But like,
You get that short break inside? No.
There's no short. You hold the wheelbarrow the whole time. But I figured like, okay, there's not a lot of people left because most of you are inside doing like all the cement, which was
Right.
like very specific who could do that because there's people that couldn't. So it's like not a lot of people can do this fast, so I'm gonna try to do it as fast as I can. So I did wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Jumped on the wheelbarrow. Stayed with it. You got some blisters on those hands?
Yeah. Like
Those little dishpan hands you got? I got you. That's good. What? Why are you clapping for that? quick. Don't encourage this man. He'll get worse. All right. So at one point we're pouring the concrete in the main part of the house. Then we're having to put it in wheelbarrows, wheelbarrow it to the side rooms, lift it over the frames, and then dump it and spread it. And we were like on the first day or two, it was like me and you, and there was other people too, but I'm saying we were working together a lot in one of those rooms. And I remember just like we're barking out orders, like, no, grab this. And you're like, what is happening? Like, I don't know how to move concrete. Like, I don't know how to level it. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like you just jump in and you figure it out, and then, they come behind us and correct anything that went wrong. Were you surprised at like the level of stuff we let you do?
100%, because we definitely shouldn't have been doing it, but we did our best, and it was amazing, and A for effort, because we put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
But they definitely came in after us, and
Yeah.
whatever we
They were
messed
like,
up, they
okay,
were
this
like,
is close.
But they didn't say anything, they were super cool. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience.
Yeah. Okay, so throughout the week, in addition to working on the site, we take these short breaks where we're going out to where the mission, the bigger part of the mission, has some feeding stations in this particular area in some of the most impoverished places. You guys are all first timers. You roll up to that first feeding station, and you pop out. What was your first reaction? Like, what was your emotional reaction? What was your first reaction? Just what did you feel in that moment?
I definitely can't forget that. Initial reaction was, this is the best day of my life. I remember I couldn't stop saying that. My mom kept telling everybody, because I just kept saying, this is the best day of my life. This is the best day of my life. Because everything that I was seeing in the kids, and despite what they were living in, they were so happy to see us, chanting gringos, gringos. Dude, that was amazing. I don't know, I thought it was awesome. But then the second you step in and see the conditions and stuff and how they're living, immediately, I couldn't get it together. I just was hyperventilating, had to walk away. It was so sad to see.
You had to take a moment?
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Was it just I mean, I think everybody has this thing where you're aware, hey, there's a huge section of the world that's probably not living anywhere near the level of life that you normally live. But then when you see it up front in a big way, it is a hit you in the gut kind of thing. And I know that a bunch of the first timers, it's funny because I always have adult, grown men, you know what I'm saying? Adult grown men, 30s, who literally, I've had some that just can't do it.
Yeah.
They just literally are no, I can't do this. Whether it's the hospital or something, check me out. Sorry, I can't handle it.
Yeah, I had said that, seeing it in videos and all that, it doesn't compare. Of course we know about it, but to go see it, and to, I had wrote this on Instagram, to play in it, to cry in it, to see these kids eating in it, it's a completely different experience to firsthand see it. The videos don't amount to what's actually going on out there, in my experience.
Yeah. What'd you think? What was it like for you when you hit that first feeding station? Was it emotional for you at all, or were you just more
I was more
let's
in
just
shock.
get through it?
I was in shock, and I was amazed that the lady, when the first station we went to, she was feeding the kids out of her house.
Yeah.
And it was super tiny kitchen, humongous pot that she was cooking with, and
How
and
many?
we're
And you don't have to get it right. I'm just saying, in your mind, how many people is she feeding that day?
I want to say there was 100 kids there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good 100. We're there. We're standing outside of her door. We're waiting for all the kids to come pile in, and then we see them, little 2-year-old, 3-year-olds walking down the street by themselves, get into the feeding station. Brooke was like, "You can leave me here. You guys can go ahead. I'll stay here with them." But yeah, it was crazy. And there was this one girl. Her name was Angie, and she had 3 siblings. She was the oldest. She was 11, and she wanted to make sure her siblings ate before she ate, and that stuck with me the most.
Okay. What'd you think? When you get to the one where it's in the little, not in the woman's house, but where we've built the feeding station, where we had the first block party night, when you hit that one, what did you think?
I just felt they were so thankful. I'd obviously never seen any of these kids before. And the minute I get out the van, they're swarming, hugging, saying thank you so much. Before we feed them.
Right.
And then we get over there and we're just talking to a bunch of kids, but they're all pouring out, and then there was a lot of singing and dancing going on, that was amazing. They were all just had a little routine, and then once we were handing out the food, they just sat there and then they all said thank you. There's a kid when we went that he had a cup of water and he offered it to all the workers, all of us. He came up to each of us and asked if we wanted water, and then when we left, we seen him walk around offering it to other kids. So they were all just so thankful and unselfish, I think, which is different than they only have one meal a day, and that's what they're so thankful for. I think was just it's a wake up for the rest of the trip.
I guess my favorite moment is when we get to go back. We've chosen the last couple of trips to go back in the evening to these feeding stations. We throw a little block party in the evening, and basically we bring a bunch of chem lights, and we bring a little music, and we play a soccer game, and we hand out dinner and all that kind of stuff, balloons, whatever it is. A lot of our group bought soccer balls for the kids that were there and different toys and stuff. That has become like a memorable thing for me. I love those nights. I love getting the chance to play with the kids and stuff. What's it like if you had to narrow it down to like favorite memory, thing that sticks with you the most? It doesn't have to be something positive. It could be something even negative. But the thing that impacted you or sticks with you or is most memorable to you, what would it be? I'll give you a moment to think that through, but what would it be? Okay, moment over. Go.
The first block party we went to, there was this little boy. His name was Gael, like Gael. And when we were leaving, I was like waving at him, and he ran to me, and then he hugged me, and then I gave him.
Yeah.
a hug.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's strong.
That was it.
What about for you?
I think the second feeding station, because when we got there, it was raining. So we, like a small group of us, walked around to each house. Like as we covered as much land as we could to try to tell them, like, hey, the rain's over, you can come eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I think seeing how they were living and then going back to work after that, it kind of like gave me a second win because I was day 3. So like really tired from the first 2 days of work and like all the heat, and day 3 was a lot worse. I think just tying all that together, like knowing like this is why we're building the house.
Yeah.
Like this is why we're going to feed them, because they don't have much, they don't have anything. So I think that like it kind of just changed my perspective on most of the trip.
Okay. What about for you?
I gotta say there's so many. Definitely, a big one for me is when the lady was singing with the kids. But I gotta say the connections I made with the people,
Yeah.
For me, it's hard to, connect with people. I come to the church and I'm quiet and stuff, but the connections that I made out there were amazing. Some of the talks that we had at night and just different personalities of people at this church that I've been going to for 2 years that I've never seen,
Yeah.
and just that experience with the people here was everything.
I-
Sarah,
Yeah.
that experience with it was awesome. It was really cool.
I said that to John this morning when he walked in. I said, I've had a rough time these last couple of days. I haven't gotten to have my moment with you in the morning as we get in the van and just talk about, how was your night? How'd you sleep, buddy? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Yeah, that was a moment. All right, we've learned over the years that it's not a good idea. Look at you. So good. Classy young lady, classy. We've learned over the years that it's not a great idea to just power through the work and then hop back on the plane and come home. And so we've taken time at the end of these last maybe 10 trips or so where we go to this little eco area and spend a day kind of like just decompressing before you have to come back. Now, before we get the aftermath, when we get to the mountain and we're kind of all just now, the work has been done, we're having a moment of decompressing, we get to spend some time together just visiting, talking, experiencing, everybody's swimming, all this kind of stuff. I find that I have a lot of reflection in those moments. Like I find that like it's almost like the decompression is almost like a lot of emotional overload too. Like you're like, whoa, that just happened. We just crammed in long days, ton of stuff, hard work, and it starts to filter through in some of my thoughts. Do you guys have that same experience? What was it like for you when we got to the mountain? I know it's fun, but were there moments where you found yourself just like staring off going, what just happened to me? Or is that just me?
No, 100%. You seen me. I was out on the rocks talking to God the majority of the time, trying to catch up.
Lord, I'm here. It's me, Lord.
It's day 5. I need help. I'm struggling.
That's good. Yeah, I did. I was walking back from our room and I noticed you were out there. I was like, let me just go out here and see how you're doing. But are you having, what's that moment like for you? Like, what are you saying in that moment? If you can share, but what is that moment like for you to be out there thinking through your whole life? Because it does kind of put you in this moment where you think through, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, 100%. Everything, catching up, working with everybody alongside everybody in that heat and everything that's going on. You hold on to there's a lot of stuff that goes on out there. So that decompression time, that was everything. Needed that, just to talk to God and just kind of reflect on how, my actions, other people's actions, things that we've done, things that we've seen. It was just kind of like catching up with God for me. Just going on this mission kind of gave me my flame was a little dim, and this kind of like sparked it for me and set something off in me that, like talking out there with God at the lodge, it's like I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I know this is something that I would want to do for the rest of my life, helping out kids and stuff like that. So it just gave me, it was a sense of purpose, out there talking to God, you know? That's kind of what it was for me.
I think it's the perfect setting for it too. It's like this highly natural setting. Plus, there's no light on the mountain basically, and so you can see like the entire galaxy, and you're like, "Whoa, what is happening to me right now?" Like it's a whole moment. Like it's a transcendent moment. What about you? Did you have any of those thoughts, or were you just in blur mode?
Well, it was kind of hard, like all the jumping. it kind of got in the way. But I think I was sitting down with, I think it was like twice. I sat down with Juan and I sat down with Deacon. And they both were kind of like, with Juan, we went over all the work, like, you know, like just explaining like how hard it was, whatever. And then Deacon was kind of like, it was at night, so we were just looking up at the stars, and he was like, really just think about what you just did for 4 days straight. You just worked, and we just, like, all this work that we're putting in. I kept thinking, I can't wait till next year to come back and work harder. Now I know the expectation. Now it's not like a first time wake up thing. Now next year I know that, like, I'm gonna come to work those first 4 days and make sure I do better than this year.
Yeah. Did you come into it with a little bit like, I got to bring my A game because these guys? No.
I was more scared because I was like getting fear factored by like a bunch of the adults, like, make sure you drink water every second so you don't die out there. I knew I'd be fine with the work. I came in wanting to prove you wrong. Make sure I did all the work.
I know that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
you had to really bring it.
That was the only thing in my head. I knew everybody else would do work, but I was like, let me make sure I at least, like, Mike sees me working.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the decompression time like for you?
I wouldn't say it was more on the emotional side.
Okay.
It was just like the little things that you take for granted, how much blessings we have over here and that they don't.
Yeah.
We're in air conditioning right now. Not many places over there had air conditioning. My hotel room lost air conditioning several times throughout the night. I'm dying in heat, yo. I was talking to one of the workers there in the kitchen. I was cutting onions, helping one of the ladies make dinner for the block party.
Yeah.
And I was like, trash bag. What's a trash bag? They don't have trash bags.
Yeah.
They throw it on the grass. And it was just like little things like that that just slip your mind that we have and they don't.
Yeah. Last question, when you get back, I think I'm just gonna tell you my experience, you tell me yours, okay? My experience is when I get back, I usually feel physically very exhausted, but emotionally very fulfilled, right? I come back but I noticed that like the first day I'm usually like, okay, I'm good. And then by the second day, I'm usually like, oh, what is happening? I'm so exhausted. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a delayed reaction for me. And a lot of that is like reorganizing my thoughts to go back into a routine that I feel like in some ways is so repetitive and so like, okay, we just got to keep drudging through a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't get me wrong. The routine's still a blessing, right? I love the routine. I love the people that I do life with. I love the work. This is me for 3 days, right? But I do notice that there's this like whole process that happens mentally once I get back and emotionally once I get back. Did you guys go through that process? Any come to Jesus moments for you? Any like, hey, I'm gonna kind of bear down and make some changes moments? Any like, let me think about this further? Are you still thinking through it? What was it like? Go ahead. What do you got? Go ahead.
You got, I gotta think. I gotta.
What was it? What was it like the last couple of days?
I think just being more grateful for everything. Like, I think, obviously, I can't. Not that I can't, but, like, there's not, like, a house for me to build here. So I was just trying to translate it back to getting here. Just being exhausted, but still just trying to be grateful. Like David was saying, like, we have a lot compared to them.
Yeah.
And I think just, like, seeing everything differently, being more grateful, and, like, kind of taking my time with things, really looking at everything that, like, I do live a really good life. And
Yeah.
not everybody has the opportunity. So just make sure, like, I'm grateful with everything and take into consideration.
Okay. What do you think?
I want to say like putting the needs of others before yourself. That's what a lot of them were doing.
Okay.
A lot of them were doing.
Okay. Yeah. That's a lasting thing. Like you've been thinking about that last couple of days. Like, okay, if I could do that, if I could live that way, that's
like not being selfish, being selfless, and just making sure they have enough, and then you take some.
Okay. What do you got?
I think the biggest thing for me was kind of coming back into like civilization. Like I kept finding myself wanting to be outside. Like the first day we got back, I went for like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Like I just remember not wanting to be in the city. Like I kept trying to like go back out to the to the forest. I don't know. I didn't even want to use the toilet. I'm like, dude,
Oh,
who needs it?
overshare.
Outside. I did. I don't know. I love that part about it. I love the just not being in the city. You know, just being
Yeah.
outdoors. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Give everybody a big hand. Thank you for sharing, guys. All right. Get out of here. Turn it off. Just turn it off. Turn it off. Okay. A couple things, especially for those that are online watching this going, what am I supposed to be learning from this? A couple things I want to share. When it comes to missions, short-term missions, when it comes to what the church is doing missionally, I usually like to address objections along with point towards a little bit of devotion. So I'd like to just do that exercise with all of you because it's an exercise that I do all the time, I tend to think like a skeptic, and I tend to think like a person that has a little skepticism. I'm kind of like that, right? And so I kind of always feel a little bit for the skeptics who are like, what are we doing? And does this really matter? And does this really work? And all that kind of stuff. And so a couple of objections. Number one, objection that I get a lot that I just want to kind of talk to for just a moment. None of these are just my opinions for just a moment. So pastoral opinions, here we go. Why Honduras? Aren't there plenty of poor people here? No, there's not. And that's just the bottom line answer. And if you thought that, and that's okay, listen to me. I want you to hear this. If you've thought that, if that's come into your mind even as we talk today, or if you've said that to somebody else, literally, no hard feelings. It's not a judgment. In fact, I thought that way for the majority of my life, right? It was funny because I can remember before we ever did a mission trip as a church, we used to just literally pay into a cooperative mission fund. We just didn't do anything. We would take 10% of all tithes and offerings and give it to a cooperative fund that would just pay out to the world, okay? And then, we were like, there wasn't any connection with what was going on, right? And so I remember the first time we ever did a mission trip, I remember reluctantly almost being dragged to it. Like other members being like, we have to do this. And I was like, okay. I don't want to leave a place where there's a Starbucks within 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it here. And I remember there was a young lady, it's funny because you can actually see it on my Facebook from one of the videos that I posted. She's moved on. Her and her husband are in mission work and in church work at another place in the world. And she literally saw the video I posted and said, remember when you told me, when I told you I was going on a mission trip to Honduras and you said, why? Why would you ever go? Blah, blah. And I made statements like this. I did. That's the way I thought, right? So no judgment. But if that's come to mind, the only reason that comes to mind is because you haven't seen it. That's the only reason that comes to mind. There's no judgment, no looking down on you. I used to think that exact same way, but that's the truth. And so the simple answer to that is no. Now, the complicated answer to that is this: poverty is not the only reason we go. Jesus says you will always have the poor, and poor is relative, okay? Poor is relative. So remember that in the Western Hemisphere, Honduras is in a competition for one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. It's usually Haiti, Nicaragua, and Honduras, and then a list of others that go on that are at the poorest level in the Western Hemisphere. But this is the Western Hemisphere. If we took in the Eastern Hemisphere, guess what? It gets even worse, right? So there are other poorer places in the world. It's not a contest to where could we go that's the poorest, right? You're like, well, why do you go at all? Well, we think of mission work and the call of Christ in a couple of ways. We think of it locally and globally, meaning that the Church of Jesus Christ fits into a grand mission inside the world, where a local church is called to minister and reach out and encourage and be a blessing to the local community, which we're doing constantly. And I can give you lists of things that we're doing constantly here to be in mission and on work and be a blessing to people in this community. and it recognizes that there's a global mission going on. Jesus calls to reach the world and to the gospel to go out to the world, and we're a part of that as well. And we have to make a decision. It's a simple decision. You can decide to do a little bit in a lot of places or a lot in one place. And there's not a right or wrong on that. Churches do it different ways. We just chose for us that the latter's better. For us, right? It's just an opinion. It's not even a right or wrong. It's just the way we wanted to do it, right? The way the Lord opened up doors and provided opportunity and set in heart certain devotions and passions for us to launch into doing his work globally. And this is what it was. God opened a door for us to walk through it. We started on it. I'll give you a couple, you asked me why Honduras. I'll give you a couple quick things. The church, I don't know if you've looked around. Raise your hand if you speak Spanish. I think there's more Spanish speakers than there are English speakers, right? So surprise, surprise, we picked a place that speaks Spanish, right? Not because we were like, where could we go? It was like, well, what makes the most sense, right? Let's pick a place where, hey, the members of this church can be a blessing, right? Ooh, we picked a place that speaks Spanish. That was a big deal. We picked a place, we wanted it to be easily accessible. And I'll tell you the reason we wanted it to be easily accessible. Not because easy's the best way all the time, but because we wanted return missionaries. We wanted to make a big investment over many years. So we wanted people going again and again and again. And guess what? There has been. There has been. I think Mike's been on 17 trips. 17 trips to Honduras. I know I've been on, I don't know how many, right? There's people in this audience who've been on multiple trips to Honduras, right? We wanted a place that worked with children. You say, well, why children? Well, because over and over again in the Old Testament, there are 3 groups basically that God names as the most in need and closest to his heart. Orphans, widows, and foreigners. Those are the names given in the Old Testament that God says, these are the ones I identify with most in their pain. Easy choice, easy choice. And then last thing, we just wanted God to open a door, and he did. Meaning that we said, okay, God, where do you want us to go? We prayed. God opened this door to us in this particular occasion. How did we find this? I could go through the whole story with you. I don't have time to do it today, but God opened a door for us to be in this place, right? That's what we did. The story is crazy. I wish I could tell the whole story. I wish I could tell you the whole story about how we secured this particular property. We secured all this funding. Everybody chipped in these, I wish I could. I wish I could tell you that when I first got to that site, we brought down a construction guy and I said, is this possible? And he looked at me and goes, anything's possible. This is crazy, right? But you know what? God opened a door and we got it done. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why. Second objection that I get a lot, why build a children's home and not a church? Why build a children's home, not a church? Well, my response to that is simple too. We have built churches down there, okay? So it's not like exclusively children's homes, but we believe that the mission of Jesus Christ in the world is not just to make local religious sites. And believe it or not, they have plenty of local religious sites. But it is to work with those and minister to those who are most at need and closest to God's heart. And this was our way to do it. This was our way to do it. We believe that is equally and just as big a part of the mission and gospel of Christ being shared in the world as to build a church. We just do. We believe the church is bigger than a building. The church is the people and the work of Jesus Christ in the world, right? Last but not least on the objections, why go? Couldn't we just send money? I love this objection and I understand it. The answer to that is we could, but you won't. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. I mean that. Anyone who's ever said that to me has not given money. And I just want you to know that. I look at all the giving for Honduras and you haven't given it. And so that's just the truth. The truth is there's something about being there or supporting someone who is going there that creates a living link to the work of Jesus Christ in this work, right? That's just the truth. There's something about the tangible connection to the ground, to the people, to the work that cannot be replaced just in mental exercise. I wish it could, right? Now, I do want to say this for all the skeptics in the room. Every single person on this trip, every single one, they pay their own way, meaning that if you gave in any way this year to Honduras and all the fundraising that we did for Honduras, if you gave this year to Honduras, none of that money went for any of these people to go. They all raised their own money or they paid their own way. I paid 3 ways, right? Just so that you're clear on this whole thing, right? I didn't take your money, any of that support I didn't use, and any of my kids and Sarah and her kids and Juan and all these other, nobody took, everybody paid in to go. $35,000 this year just spent in construction. That was all raised or given. That was all raised or given. Meaning that the people go out of their own sacrifice, and we raise in support of the mission so that we can pour it back into the people. We don't go just to see. I know, look, you may have been no offense, but I think that there's a lot of churches that are just putting on poverty tourism trips. Like, that's not our goal here. The goal is not for just you to see it. It's for you to get passionate about it, passionate about the work, passionate about the spread of the gospel, passionate about how we could change somebody's life, encourage somebody, lift somebody up. This year, I don't know, one of the best, I'm not even gonna say it because I won't be able to get through without crying. But it is great to see 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds who are now either working or starting their life who I knew when they were infants. And all because of the work of and the giving and the passion of some people who've poured into something great, right? So that's my little tidbit to the objections. For the devotion, I'll say this. I kept thinking about this the whole time we were there because in the past, we've developed some sites where it's a construction site, but there's also already kids living on the site, right? So you have an orphanage, a functioning orphanage, and we're just adding to it. We've done that in the past, and that's it. There's a great reward that comes with that, because every time you take a break, you're with a child then at that point, and there's a great reward that comes with that. This is different. This is the start of something. So this takes a lot more faith, because you're at a site that you don't see any kids yet. You don't see who this is gonna bless yet. You don't see who this is gonna minister to yet. It's hard. You have to actually have a little vision, a little forethought of like, oh, this could actually mean something to somebody. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I kept thinking about faith and the idea of faith, and Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, one of my favorites. And I want to read this to you. Check this out. I'm gonna give you, the last one's cut off, no big deal. I'm gonna give you a couple translations, okay? These are multiple translations of the same passage. So this is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Here's the NIV. Confidence in what we hope for. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. I like that one. That's my favorite. I grew up NIVs. That's how I memorize things. How about this one? ESV. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. That's a good one too. The translators do good work here. How about this one? If you're an old school King James person, if you're like, yeah, come on, that's how I roll. The substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That's faith. Or how about this? The Holmes Christian Standard Bible, which is just, the Baptist publishing arm. Here we go. Here you go. The reality of what is hoped for and the proof of what is not seen. That's good. The reality of what's hoped for and the proof of what is not seen. My personal favorite is this. Check it out. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and being confident of what we do not see. So when we're gathered together on that site and I'm circled up with everybody in the morning and I'm saying, I want you to be sure in your mind, sure today that that God's opened a door and that God's going to use this site to bless somebody. You may never know their name. You may never meet them. This may be long after you're gone, right? This could be 20 years from now, it could be 30 years from now, but someone's life is going to be changed on this site because you did this. That takes faith. That takes faith to think that way and to live that way. Convinced of what we do not see. Convinced that God will use this for his good. Here's the thing about faith, right? It doesn't matter what area of life you're in. There's acts of faith, steps of faith that require that sort of thinking. You're starting a business, it takes faith to trust that God's gonna see you through. You're finding a spouse, or you're hoping to find a spouse, hold on, all right? Hold on. The Lord is good. The Lord is good. Can you hold on? Becoming a parent, and it's been a wait, hold on, right? Joining a church, and what does that mean? Hold on. Building an orphanage, no matter what it is. There are these moments, and that's what's celebrated in Hebrews chapter 11. That's what gets celebrated. One of the celebrations is, hey, remember the faith of Abraham. God said, take your family and go here, and I'm gonna do this. And then guess what? It took years and years and years before that blessing is realized. All that to say, I just want to remind you, it may not work out the way you thought it would or should. It may not work out in the timing that you wanted it to work out. It may not work out when or how or the way you hope for. But if it's truly a door getting opened by God, it's truly a part of his work in the world, it's truly an opportunity to be a blessing in the world in his name, guess what? He'll get that done, and you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith that no matter what role you play in it, it's meaningful. And he's working in and through you to bring about good and light and truth in the world that is broken to the core and in constant decay. Are you with me? That's faith. I pray you go out and have faith today in what Christ can do in your life and in his mission in the world. That's my prayer. Let me show you this verse one more time. Being sure, I pray you're sure of what we hope for. And I pray you hope that God's gonna redeem it all. And being convinced of what we do not see, convinced that God's at work in all these families and all these places and in your life and in mine. Are you with me? Let's take a moment. I want you to think about that, have prayer, and then take communion together. Father, thank you for your love. Thank you for this chance to serve you this week. It is good to link arms with brothers and sisters and dedicate time and energy like this. In a surprising way, it has been the great reward of my life. And I just want to thank you for opening that door and giving that opportunity. Father, for every dollar that got donated this year, for every single person here who gave and prayed and supported, Father, I just pray that you'd remind us what a beautiful thing it is when the church becomes the church. When the church is at move and listening to your voice in the world. Father, you are good and your mercies endure forever, and we give you thanks. The night before Jesus was crucified, he took bread and wine, gave it to his best friends in the world who would all betray him, and said, this is my body broken for you and my blood shed for you. We come today together as a family, knowing deep down in the recesses of our souls that if it was us sitting at that table that night, we would have abandoned him as well. But by his grace and by his mercy, he has redeemed us out of a broken world and called us into a global mission. Father, whether it's prayer, commitment, support, blessing, giving, going, whatever it is, take what little we have, multiply it, use it for your good. We give thanks for your sacrifice that's redeemed us. Take it and eat, take it and drink.
You are worthy of it all. You are worthy of it all. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory.
Join me in standing.
You are worthy of it all.
Sing that.
You are worthy of it all. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory.
One more time, let me hear you.
You are worthy of it all. You are worthy of it all. For from you are all things, and to you are all things. You deserve the glory.
Let me pray a blessing over you. Father, we ask your blessing upon everyone that's gathered from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. May they be blessed in your name, blessed by the hearing of your word. Father, thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for the covering of our sins. Thank you for forgiveness. Each and every one of us needs it. Thank you for your grace. May we leave this place and not squander it. May we leave this place not in pride, but in humility, knowing how much we need you and how much the world needs you. Be a blessing in and through us. We ask it in your name. Amen. Goodbye. God bless. Love you, mean it.